a thumbs up if the audio is good. Bruh. Can anyone hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. I saw 6 deer on the way in. I had one bedded just down the ridge from this feed tree. Different scenario for me in the morning, folks. I'm targeting feeding to bedding areas, and directly behind me I have a massive bedding area. I guess it was Monday morning. I watched about 9 does come right under this tree from the ridge in front of me. So we are set in a great spot here today. I've got the longbow. I'm ready to rock. So you guys keep it hyped in the chat. As the sun comes up, you'll get more action here. Zach, hey, thank you, man. Anand, hey, how are ya? Guys, like I mentioned a minute ago, we got a super hot spot here. We're about 600 yards from where I've been hunting them in the evening. And now we're just hunting them where they come back to bed. Monday in the morning before I went live, I watched about 9 deer come up under this feed tree and walk to the ridge behind me to bed down. That was at about 7:15, 7:20. Now we've got an extra moist morning here. I don't know if it rained at all at night, but on my way out in the evening, it was a driving rain. Super quiet getting in here. I'm set up. I can run a low light 50mm lens off the Canon EOS. Once the sun comes up, we'll change that out. We'll get the 300mm lens on there to get up close and personal. I'm trying to get my belly full. You guys let me know if you see one in the camera. It's still too dark for me to see good. Guys, we got the longbow today. want to get it done with that longbow. Hey, some good news. The lives are going so well. Less than a month, I've reached the 500 subscriber mark. That's going to open up some new windows for that monetization process. I can't thank you guys enough for that. It's all because of you that it's going so well. I love it. Zach, I run the Method 3. I spent 5 years in a Method 2. It's a good saddle. My opinion, and I am strongly opinionated, you're going to find that out. The Method 3 is the only option if you're a saddle hunter. You can believe that, or you can disagree. If I had all the money in the world, I'd buy them all, and I'd know for sure. But this is the only one that is built with a uniform material construction throughout the saddle. So your body, your backside, can't sink down in to the bottom panel and allow the straps to create stress in pinch points. It is by far the only saddle that I would buy. Lucky Hidden Scratcher. This is the only YouTube channel where you can watch some old fat guy hunt deer live. Zach, I've spent 7 years saddle hunting. Like 1,400 hours, probably closer to 1,500 now. Averaging about 70 sits a year. By the time I got through with last season, I had tissue damage 2 inches below the hip joints on both sides from saddle pinch. The Method 3 has none. I have a lot of B-roll and a script to actually do a review of the Method 3. Maybe I'll get to that tomorrow. And I think over the 7 years that I've been running the saddle, don't quote me on this, I don't know for sure, I gotta go back and look, but I think I've shot 41 deer out of the saddle in 7 years. No. It's not that, it's probably 38. There's at least 3 from the ground. Buck Chaser, I hope you're not in a fucking stale office right now, breathing in mold out of a air conditioning unit, wasting away. Cowboy, do I ever work? Yeah, I have a job currently, but I haven't worked there since January. They're gonna stop paying me on the 30th of September. And then I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm also a retired military guy who saved up a lot of money over his life. And I have a sugar mama. Cowboy, the real answer to that is I want to make this YouTube my job. I know that sounds silly, but there are ways. Yeah, Cowboy, I think I'm in a unique spot here. There's some guys that, they don't take it serious and they go live on TikTok. There's a couple guys that go live on YouTube, but they don't take it serious. I want to turn it into a full production where I capture all this stuff live. I've got the self-filming aspect of it. I produce the videos afterwards. Let everybody check it out. I don't know. I think it's super cool. You guys seem to like it. Yeah. Hopefully we can do some giveaways. Maybe we've got some unique content coming that cost a free $99 per month. I just generally want to make the bow hunting world a better place. I don't know if you'll learn that much from me in a day. I'm telling you, the more I watch the social media, the less things I believe because it doesn't align with what I see. And the old school woodsmanship that I learned from my grandfather and my dad beats every one of these guys who has an opinion on what deer are doing and when and why they do it. Deer ecology is pretty simple. They need to eat. They need to drink. They need to sleep. They need to breed. And they need to survive. You put those simple pieces together. You move into their world. You can get on them, stay on them all season long. This October lull bullshit doesn't exist. Yeah. And do you know how much food, how much browse by pounds they can consume in a day? This is why I like Back Mountain, dude. He's a real guy. He's down to earth. He's not letting somebody feed him garbage. These podcast guys, man. These people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, and all they're doing is pushing out junk. Do they kill big bucks? Yeah, because they've got 1,500 acres in Iowa. where they grow that deer over 5 years. And they hunt it on the edge of a cornfield. Bring that guy to Pennsylvania. Bring him. Well, I'm glad California's on. Holy cow, it's like 2 a.m. in California. Heck, if I had $1 for every person who told me in the chat I move too much or I'll never see deer while I'm talking. I think over the last week and a half I've disproved that point. Heck, I had 20 deer looking at me while I'm moving around in the tree the other day when I shot one on Monday. Yeah, Don, I agree with you. Anytime you get around massive amounts of ag and a deer can get old, they're going to get big. I think the biggest problem with Pennsylvania for a long time is there was 1,000,000 hunters. And they shot anything that moved. If it was brown, it was down. Then the antler restrictions helped. And it's been, like 20 years since the antler restrictions. It's made a huge difference. Yeah, I'm with you. And they're all happy to sell somebody else's product for a commission. Bro, if it doesn't work, all this scent control spray and all this other stuff that people really put a lot of faith in, spend a ton of money on. Yeah, I tried it 10 years ago. I did my research. And that shit don't work. Climb a tree. Sit downwind of where you think the deer are coming from. And you try to smell the deer before you see them. Everybody will tell me that that's impossible. I'm in a spot where I'm probably smelling 25% of the deer that I see before I see them. It's your only scent control. Yeah, wind and thermals is your only scent control. And I'm glad you brought up thermals. Thermals is a very complicated thing for some folks. I mean, in principle, it's simple. It's very simple. Hot air rises. Cool air falls. So in the morning, on a ridge top, like where I'm at, as soon as the sun starts to hit this ridge, thermals are going to rise. anything that comes across that ridge, after about the first hour of daylight, I'm going to be masked as long as they don't cross my ground scent. Pretty simple, but in practice, I don't think a lot of people do it right. Same holds true in the evening. Hunting on this ridge top can be very problematic, because if something's coming across it, as soon as the sun starts to set, my thermals are dropping down out of the tree and creating like a mushroom 40 or 50 yards around the tree if I have no wind, which, if I'm hunting with a recurve or a longbow, I can't get a deer within shooting range. So what I'm better off doing, setting up a third of the way down the ridge, letting the deer come in above me as they're feeding, and let my thermals get pulled down to the creek bottom. Again, it's the practice of the principle that's going to make people better, not just the understanding. I don't use milkweed, man. I use my little indicator. Milkweed, it gets all over my truck. It's in my air conditioner. It's all, that's what I use. And you can see now, it's coming up and it's drifting this way. Kind of pulling down the mountain still. In an hour when it heats up, it'll be pulling up. But I'm expecting the deer to come from over here. We are looking for Bigfoot. Soap bubbles. Oh, look which way the wind's blowing. I do have some blue jays down over the ridge. Hear them. Hey guys, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to bring you this live action all season long, or until I freeze to death in January. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It brings more folks into the community. Get some better discussion here in the chat. Chat's pretty clean today. Bullseye Ben's not on, so he's not talking about his turtle poking out. Brandon B., I am in Maryland. Where are you? Yeah, the Blue Jays. Snitches, man. Straight snitches. I'm hoping Bigfoot gets me, dude. Christian, how are you? Yeah, I know. The milkweed, I think, is probably the best way, but for me, like yesterday, pouring down rain. Yeah. I just use that little blower. It works well enough for me. Len Cagle, man, I wish I was up in Maine on some bear. I really want to get a deer on the ground with the damn longbow, though. I think all next week, I think I'm taking a break here over the weekend to go to the lake. And then next week, I'm gonna hit the bucks hot and heavy. I'm really gonna do some walking and covering ground. Try to find where some initial scrapes are opening up and where they're doing some rubbing, because it's about that time to get crazy. It's another really interesting part of my strategy that, from a woodsman perspective, probably doesn't mean much. But in this tree, this morning's hunt, I'm hunting a specific deer. There's a mature fawn or a mature doe that's running around with the fawn. The fawn's old enough. The doe's fat and healthy. And I've watched them come under this tree and bed over here. There are plenty of other deer that bed on this opposite side. But I'm targeting that deer. It's easy to sit in the woods and be like, oh, I'm hunting. And whatever comes by is fine. Yeah, that's usually what works, right? But all of the small details that you have to really work into your plan for a longbow or a recurve bow, you've got to get close. And if you're hunting a specific deer and you know where that deer likes to go in bed in the morning, you can set up close. No, Ryan, when I got to the base of the tree, I had one. I don't know if it was bedded or just coming across the top. In the dark, all I could see was its eyes, maybe 50 yards off. I saw a total of 6 coming in. But like I said, from Monday's hunt, I had deer coming in roughly around 7:30 in the morning. So, and with all the rain yesterday, it being wet, it's overcast, it's a little foggy. Maybe it'll be delayed a little bit. I don't know. I was surprised to see as many deer bedded just in random open timber on the way in. And I saw a fox too. Good morning from Maine. Wow, an old Matthews triax. Dadgum. I want to see your gun. I don't have a gun, man. I have that contraption right there. Sorry, I'm a huge disappointment there. I think them guns are too easy. Who did I see that was a big name in hunting for a long time? Was it Jackie Bushman? Where he said that, hey, all you have to do if you just want to enjoy the outdoors and not have to do any work is just start hunting with a longbow. You won't have to drag too many of them if you hunt with a longbow. It's not that hard. Last year was my first year really with the trad wish I was there drinking some coffee. It doesn't have to be 15, but under 25, man, is really key. 20 and in is awesome. I like 18. I just put the tip of that arrow right at the bottom of that armpit and let her fly. Yeah, you're right, I did lie. I don't want to be there. I can't believe you're calling me out like that. Guys, we got 300 people on and only 24 likes. What's the problem? Trap and bow, etc. You mean, right? PMC 52. I did a live on Monday where I shot a doe. You missed it. You can rewatch it. I got a video up. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you can always rewatch the lives later. I'm running a couple other cameras too, so I will, when I break the videos down, I will match them up with the audio and the video from the live with what I'm seeing in the camera. That's pretty cool. Then I'll put the video from the live up in the corner. You can zoom in and you can see whatever I'm talking about on the camera. If I'm right though, at 7:30, 2 deer are gonna come under this tree. And I'm gonna try to whack one. We'll see how good I am. No baiting, no dogs. Yeah, we don't. Oh, we got a big old gray squirrel coming. Oh yeah, that's good news. Where'd he go? He's right behind that tree, I think. Alright guys, 317 people, 31 likes. That's ridiculous. Come on, 10 people, smash that thumbs up. Just do it, it's free. It's free. And then if you want to see me on live all fall long and into the winter, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to do it live from the tree on YouTube as much as possible. Alright, nobody wants to look at squirrels anyway, right? They're here for the deer hunting ASMR. gotta be real careful because when they come over this bank, they're like in my lap. I'm really hoping they come to the left side of the tree. If they come to the right, I gotta shoot them weak side with a longbow. Everybody's been making comments in some of the videos about, oh, he's running a clicker, he's running a clicker, he's running a clicker. Man, if you just shoot enough, you don't have to run a clicker. Well, let me tell you something about being exact. If you are crossed up in a tree, shooting weak side, and you don't have a clicker, I challenge you to know where full draw is because everything feels different. You're compact, and you don't know where full draw's at. You may be at anchor, but you're not at full draw. Shooting from the ground and shooting from a tree saddle or a tree stand are two different things. I have a bad shoulder injury. I shoot a lightweight bow. I have heavy arrows. I need to be exact. The difference between 18 yards and 17 yards is 2 inches. Imagine if I'm a half-inch shorter on draw length and I'm a yard off on my estimation or my range. That means I'm missing low, big time. We're not here to miss on camera, guys. We go to the WMA meetings, the anti-hunters come in a group, they all wear black in mourning for their dead animals. I know this woman, I refer to her as the crazy lady because every time I park in a public hunting spot down here, she comes out of her house and yells and screams at, not at us, but at the world about how these people keep coming from out of state to come shoot her deer. Cuckoo, man. Yeah. And I'm sorry if I missed any people here. Seth knows this girl. He has witnessed it. Seth, tell him how ridiculous it is. I'm not even going to repeat the profanity that comes out of her garbage mouth. She wants to help the deer, tell her to go plant a tree because these deer down here are starving to death because there's so many of them. Man, New Zealand, are they known? It's not for the elk. They have stags over there too, right? Man, sometimes I hate rain. Sometimes it's like magic. When the rain stops, the deer come out. These deer might have fed all night long. We could be in for a quiet morning until later morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock, or 11. I'm down in and around the Pretty Boy area in Maryland, just off of 83. Yeah, I agree. A lot of times, I seem to see more of the big bucks in the rain. And I don't know if it's because they feel like they can sneak around a little bit more or what, but and I usually see a lot of deer after the rain. Guys, we've got the sun coming up over here. Take in that shot through the trees. You want to do something good for your soul? You come out and watch that sun come up, man. So there's a reason why we do the YouTube, right? There's a reason why we go live and interact. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of a fawn bleat early season. It seems like the does just run into it. But you know, from a channel name perspective, I settled on Luminary. I think that's kind of it's significant because it's not just about the woodsmanship. It's not about the hunt. It's about sharing some perspective when you have an audience. And I'm going to be 45 years old here in another month. And I think in my early 30s, I spent a lot of time chasing my peace. Sometimes it's easier for people to find than they expect. And one of the things that I did in my 20s was stop bow hunting to ride motorcycles with my buddies. But when I got back into it in my mid-30s, after being married, having a kid, I was really able to find my peace. And that's helped the family culture a lot. Because when you're at peace and you bring that attitude to the house, to the family, it helps them find peace. And I may shoot a bunch of deer this year. I may not. For me, it's about that epic shot where I've got the deer in full frame, like Monday evening. And I can share it with some folks. I plan on donating quite a few this year. If you guys are interested in helping out with that, you can definitely hit me up on the email at longbowluminary@gmail.com. I think maybe later I'll do a video sometime this week where I talk about exactly what I want to do with that, how I want to proceed, give you guys some information on it. You're going to find that in your local community there's a lot more people that would eat venison or take a venison donation than you might expect. I found that out easy last year. I think a little over 5 deer, 5.5 deer were donated, all to local people in my area. Yeah, I'll take a fat doe any day. Unless it's an 8.5 8.5-year-old doe. I shot an 8.5-year-old doe last year that just really didn't have a lot of taste. It wasn't bad. The meat was really dark on that deer. I just had something move down here. Hold on. I had a flicker of something there. It looked like it was like 8 feet off the ground. It could have been a bird. Could have been a squirrel. I don't think it was a deer. Wolfberg calls sang, sang, sang. I'm glad. I think this is awesome too. We're actually down on folks that are on the live. We had I think we had about 400 on at one point. But the folks that are staying, the community that we're building, that's what's really awesome. I woke up too late and I'm just now getting ready to head out. Caden, hopefully, it's never too late. If you're under a feed tree in this early season, Monday I found a spot. I had deer feeding under a feed tree at 11:25 in the morning. Then I went back and I hunted that in the evening, and it was insane. I think when I shot, I had 20 deer within 50 yards and probably 10 or 12 of them all within 25 or 30 yards. I posted the video. It's got a great shot. You can check that out. And I've got a blue jay up here close making noise. It's behind me though, which isn't good. I don't like him back there. This tree right here. It's some kind of oak tree. I think it's a red oak species. And I'm glad you mentioned that. This year I'm not finding too many red oaks or white oaks that are dropping yet in this area. But whatever this oak is, if somebody could figure that out and tell me, that'd be great. I actually went back to all my previous onyx spots and I identified all of the oak flats that I've previously seen oak trees like this. And those are the areas that I'm targeting right now, because that's where the deer are feeding. Oh, muscadine. Yeah, Brandon, and that 8.5-year-old deer, it could have been 9.5. It was tagged in 2019. It was 150 pounds when it was tagged and collared. It was a Fort Indian Town Cap deer, part of their research program that they do. The tag was supposed to, or the collar was supposed to fall off eventually, but it never did. The ear tags, however, had been ripped out of the ears. When I turned that radio collar in, they were able to identify that deer based on the serial number on the collar and give me the date that it was tagged, the live weight that it was tagged at, and roughly how old they thought it was. They thought it was 2.5 years old when they tagged it in 2019. It could easily have been 3.5. least 2.5 at 150 pounds in Pennsylvania. So we know it's 8.5 years old. Harvesting an 8.5-year-old deer is like hitting the lottery. I shot that deer in late season. January 9th. I had hunted that deer for 13 days. One day in the middle was a Sunday where I didn't hunt it. I was able to shoot that deer from the ground at 18 yards with a recurve. An absolutely epic hunt. And surprisingly, I saw 2 bucks in that 2-week time frame. One that was a 12-point, probably tapes out somewhere in the mid to high 150s. And I also videoed a mainframe 10 that probably goes somewhere in the 170s. You can probably already guess that those 2 are on my target list this year. One of the shorts I posted just after the channel started a month ago showcases that big 12-point with a lot of great photos of them, video. Yeah, in Maryland you check everything online. Pennsylvania still uses a tag system where you ear tag it and then have, 7 days, I think, or 10 days to report it online or send in a report card. Isaiah, we saw 6 on the way in. One that was just down the hill from me. It was roughly in there, and it was there while I was hanging the sit here. Guys, we got the recurve out today. We are old school traditional today. Yeah, I shot a 12-point last year in Maryland. It tapes out about 135 and some eighths. I haven't measured it since it's been dry, so I don't know exactly what it is official. That deer has split G2s on both sides. Pretty epic buck. Not wide, it's only 14.5 inches wide, but super tall. Damn near 11-inch G3s. Ten and 7/8 on one side, and 10 and 5/8 or 6/8 on the other. American, we are hunting in Maryland, real close to Pretty Boy Reservoir. Guys, take a look at this sunrise. Yeah, a lot of foggy mist here this morning. Speak up. Nah, dude. We gotta be very, very quiet. We're hunting rabbits. This is deer hunting ASMR at its finest. Patch, I'm laughing out loud too, bro. Look at this sunlight creeping through, guys. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Small water charters, how are you, dude? Hey, look, we're on a new channel, apparently, obviously. But things are looking up, man. I might have got knocked down and I might have got canceled. But now, I stood back up and we're coming for everything. We should be close to go time having those two does come across this ridge top. It's about 7:30. Patch, I'm glad, man. I'm not trying to be a distraction, but I'm glad you guys are taking a moment to check out what I'm doing. I think the branding for the new YouTube channel is, that old guy that hunts bucks on live. Bro, all it is real tree extra. I love the real tree extra. Len, I am in between feeding and bedding. Monday morning I watched 9 deer come across this ridgetop to bed behind me. But 2 specifically, a big old doe with a fawn, would come right under this feed tree and suck down a few acorns before they headed to bed. They did that about 7:30 on Monday. So that's what we're hoping for here this morning. It is not opening day. We are, 12 or 13 days? 13 days into the season. Season opens in Maryland on the 5th of September this year. AJ, no, I have not. I've not seen any deer since the sun came up, since legal shooting hours. I saw 6 on the way in. Patch, we had a pretty incredible live on Monday. I posted a video yesterday that reviews all that. Shows an awesome shot on a deer. You can go back and check that out. Don't do it now, we're live. We might have one come in. Wait till later. Wait till your lunch break. Thank you. Matt, don't fall asleep. Heck yeah, man. Close to Pretty Boy Reservoir. I don't know if that mic picks up those blue jays in the back, but they're going nuts in that bedding area. I spend a lot of time behind the binoculars, looking through the glass. It's super imperative that I see the deer before they can get close enough to see me or hear me. It is. Kim, check this out. Alright, thank you for stopping by the live. Guys, don't forget, we are going to run this into the ground. We're going to go live from the tree as often as possible this year. Next week, we're going to specifically just hunt bucks. But hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. Because we've got an action-packed season coming. We're going to try to do a live at least 3 or 4 times a week from the tree. We might get 2 in today. Early morning hunt and evening hunt. And guys, we've got 300 people on and only 67 thumbs up. Remember, those thumbs up are free. They don't cost a dime. Hit that thumbs up button. Show your support for the channel. Tap that notification bell and jump back on here. When I go live in the afternoons, I'll always update you on the community page. I'll let you know what time and where I'm at. That way you can follow the story. Josie, we are after the deer, man. Charles, I wish you were out here, dude. What part of Maryland? We're in Baltimore County right here. I'm thinking all the rain we had last night might be slowing the action down just a bit here this morning. Yeah, big buck. We saw 3 different bucks last night on the live. All small ones. 6 point, 4 point. Well, good luck in Missouri. I hear great things about the hunting out there. Derek, hey, how are ya? Miller Time 90. Hello from Wisconsin, my boy. Guys, I started this adventure with the recurve and the longbow last year. I took 4 deer with traditional equipment last year, but no bucks. I would love to shoot a nice buck with this longbow. Heck, if it's 100 inches, I'd shoot it with the longbow. Just for some talking points, about 2% of archery hunters will ever hunt with traditional equipment. So harvesting one, that's another story altogether. But that's a feat. But it comes at a price. There are a lot of challenges. And doing it on a live probably increases that challenge about tenfold. So just about any buck with the recurve or longbow on a live would be legit. Sang, hello again. Maybe not 20-fold, but it makes it difficult. The hardest part is juggling the cameras right at that last moment to make sure I've got a deer in frame. And I can get the bow to full draw without any equipment in the way. That's the tough part. Brady, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I'm not a believer in the scent-free stuff. I think the scent lock clothing and a lot of this new microfiber technology that keeps your clothing from, I don't know, I guess growing bacteria and stinking more is probably a legitimate thing. But these sprays and all of that other stuff, there's plenty of studies out there with dogs that disprove that it works. Does it help a little? Maybe, but probably not enough to make a huge impact. Your best bet is to play the wind, like I have the wind directly in my face. And I'm hunting a specific group of deer that came across this ridge top at about this time on Monday to get to a bedding area behind me. That is my scent control. And as the sun begins to heat up the ground, my wind will no longer be blowing down this ridge. It'll start to rise with the thermals. Yeah, I love my camo gear, and I love my nice camo gear. I'm a huge fan of King's because it's much cheaper than some of these other brands. But the reason I love that, not necessarily for the camo pattern, it's for the durability I get out of the clothing and for the comfort. Hunting clothes that fit good and wear well are kind of my priority, as well as how do they shield me from the elements? What's the waterproof technology like? How effective it is, and whether or not it keeps me warm when it's super cold. Doesn't really matter to me what brand. Exactly. Fred Bear didn't need any of that stuff. I don't wear one. Hell, I'm in a habit shirt and habit pants from Dunham's. They basically give this stuff away on discount at the end of the season. And I shred gear. Everything I own, man. I use it. We're probably going to climb a tree 80 or 90 times this year. We wear out things like mad rocks and climbing ropes. Yeah. Look, man, I just wear what works, you know. I don't have to spend $1 million to be a fanboy for some company. No, Maryland has a big issue with CWD, so regulations are really focused on that. They don't want you putting any scent, urine-based scent lures out or anything like that. So I haven't used a deer lure in probably 4 years. 3 or 4 years. Because Pennsylvania, anywhere in the CWD area in Pennsylvania is the same as here. Probably 2022 was the last time I used doe and estrus. Gotta be honest, I had really, really minimal success with that stuff anyway. Seth, we're locked in. I'm a little wet. Ricky, we're hunting white-tailed deer, buddy. The elusive white-tailed deer. Live with Longbow Luminary for early morning deer hunting ASMR. understand PA's laws. I will say this though, they are really good with sticking with tradition. Pennsylvania is also, I think, the last state that has a flintlock only season. Now Maryland has their 3 or 4 day traditional season where you can only use longbows, recurves, and flintlocks. But Pennsylvania has a long tradition with its flintlock rifles after Christmas, and I love that. There are only a few states that haven't adopted the inline muzzleloader completely, and I stand by that. I think that's awesome. In my younger years, flintlock was one of my favorite seasons. Now I've just gone to hunting traditional archery in the late season. But I have taken, I think, 11 or 12 deer with a musket. And there's nothing like making your own balls, cutting your own patches and shooting deer with a daggum flintlock muzzleloader. Come on, garden, that's a little uncalled for. You guys are fired up in the chat, man. I love it. You're hyping me up. I don't know if I have my battery bank for this phone. I guess we're doing alright. We're still at 73% battery. Guys, we have 437 folks on the live. That's outstanding. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the support. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you want to see this all season long. I'm going to be going live as much as possible from the tree. We're going to do it like nobody else does. And we're not just running a phone and going live. We've got the Canon over here. We've got the GoPro. And we're turning out cinematic videos to post later on. If you guys want the recap of Monday evening's hunt, it was phenomenal. It was fire. We've already got that up. It's posted. You can check it out later. And don't be stingy with those thumbs up. We got 85 likes. We probably have 30 or 40,000 people that have jumped on this thing already. If you like it, give it the thumbs up. is we wouldn't mind taking Big Daddy out. And I hate to say it, but any deer that walks within 20 yards of this tree is taking the shaft. I ain't waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning driving an hour and 40 minutes just to sit here and let them walk by. Brady, when I left the tree yesterday, it was pouring. I got soaked on the way out. And it rained a good bit last night. There's a lot of water coming off the trees here right now. This one's soaked still. But yeah, it's wet. Yeah, I got pummeled just as I got down yesterday. I'm on the if it's brown, it's down team right now. Heck, some of these deer run around with spots still. If it's spots, it's down. I'm not above shooting a fawn. I'll do it. Mikey, I think it's about time to punch that time card. Do it. Yeah, the best kind of deer is the one that's in your freezer. Mike, I've got this pretty down, man. The tree behind me. Good blocking tree for stuff behind me. And I'm watching down over the ridge here, just on the edge. If I see something coming, I'll quiet down and stop moving so much. Shot one Monday on the live, so I don't know. Yeesh, bandit, I won't. I'm just out here to take pictures today. A yearling, you didn't shoot a year-old doe at 35 yards. What's wrong with you? Pat, you can't hear me. Nah. Nah. Yeah, look, man. Year and a half old doe. They're ready. They're ready to be smoked. I don't care if you use a wood smoker or an electric one, they're ready for smoke. Just the whisper. Guys, I had a 6-point at about 13 yards Monday night. And I'm wrapped around the tree like a squirrel. And I had other deer, does that were within range. And I just had to stand up and swing around the tree. And I probably had a dozen deer within 25 or 30 yards of me. And even at that, I was able to pull it off. Now, I had much more back cover. And I had some smaller trees close that were giving me some cover. But my eyes are good. Not a whole lot gets past me. Blevins, I don't use guns, man. Yeah. Justin, I'm hunting out of a saddle. I use a Method 3 from Latitude Outdoors. In my opinion, it is the only tree saddle that is fit for hunting. It truly offers that all-day comfort. Team date, I use a single stick. Don't make fun, but I have an old hawk helium stick that I cut to 15 inches. Why the hawk helium? Because it folds up. I run a 3-step baiter from out on a limb. You can buy them from Eastern Woods Outdoors or something. It's an altimeter. And I run a cam cleat. With an Amsteel full berry. I don't know, probably 46 or 48 inch rope. With all that in a stick, it's still 2.7 pounds. And then I run a Latitude X-Wing platform that's 2.1 pounds. A lot of great platforms on the market now that are right around that 2-pound mark. I did order a solo stick. I don't know when I'll get that. It's on back order. Yeah, Justin, it's not a bad setup. I used a Method 2 saddle from Latitude for 5 years. I thought it was great until I tried the Method 3. This thing has a uniform construction throughout both of the panels. A lot of these other saddles, they have some sort of material or webbing between their straps, and your body kind of sinks down into that webbing or that material, and then those straps add pressure points with this uniform construction that's padded throughout. On this new method 3, there's zero hip pinch, there's zero discomfort. Again, I'm highly opinionated, but it is my opinion that it's the only saddle. Uh, the new Tree Ninja, their dually, it may be a close comparison, but I wasn't spending $50 or $60 more. Night shift, I'll save a couple. There's no way I can shoot them all in Maryland. There's just too many. I got in a fight with a raccoon once. I started the fight and I finished the fight. I started by sticking a .224 Valkyrie round in it. And when it fell out of the tree, it wasn't ready to give up yet. Although I thought it was dead. That old poor raccoon had other plans, like trying to tear my face off. I'm going to drop down and adjust the angle of my platform here. This tree's a little bit of a leaner. This morning I don't have an issue with bugs. I usually wear I have a scent lock hat that I have that covers my whole face. I usually wear that. Wow, that was weird. I just had a moment there where I got super lightheaded. Like I thought I was going to black out there for a second. That was weird. path. If I pass out, you know where I'm parked, man. Blue Tundra. I did eat a little bit, but not much. I have some thyroid issues. I got some other challenges that I deal with. But that's scary. Oh, that's better. Yeah, Caden, you tell him. Caden, we got a special present for you. Now you're a standard moderator. What? Yeah, now you're part of the blue crew. You see anybody mouthing off and saying mean stuff, you can time them out. Tell them to go pound sand. Just use your privileges wisely. Last year, around the third week of September, there's a little patch of mountain laurel right here, but they put a scrape right in there. And from about the first week of October, this place turned into a pretty regular hangout spot for two really nice 2-year-old 8-points. And I had the opportunity to pass both of them several times last year. And hopefully they're still around as 3-year-olds, because they'll be pretty nice bucks this year. Yeah, I didn't think you would, but since you're hyping the channel up quite a bit, encouraging some interaction in the chat, I figured it was the right thing to do, so welcome to the team, my friend. What refuge are you talking about, Justin? I heard you say that earlier, but I was fortunate. I got on some really nice bucks early last year. And then I made a video on Paint Train Outdoors, and everybody saw the video, and now there's probably 100 guys in the parking lot over there. And there's no bucks there. Hey, thanks for the sub, man. I really appreciate it. You know, it's funny you guys talk about these spots in Maryland. I think we probably all ought to be at Elk Neck right now, hunting the elusive Sitka deer. Sitka deer, however you say it. Caden, on the trad bows, I'm running the VPA, single bevel with a left twist. They're the greenheads. I was gonna spring for the Omegas, but man, they're expensive. I'm running a 250 grain broadhead with a 100 grain insert. Somewhere like 670 grains in that arrow. Now he can speak Arabic, we just can't understand it. I like how the name changes every time he posts something. I hunted a spot real close to Philly last year. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But there was an Elk Neck Creek. And I shot a deer at 8 yards. Straight through the heart from about 30 feet up in a tree. It's the first time I've ever hunted there. And I want to swing in there sometime, at some point here in the next week or so, and see what that place looks like. 12.6. What's up? Yeah, everybody say hi to Caden. Patch on my compound. I love the G5 Mega Meats. I'm also a huge fan of the Grim Reapers as far as expandables on a compound. Those are my go-to. And I've shot deer with all kinds. I've shot deer with Rage. I've shot deer with. I've got a small bowl at home that's filled with NAP Spitfires because they were cheap. And we're shooting 8 or 10 deer a year, right? Like, just use what I can. I'll tell you what I won't use. I'll never use one of those beast broadheads. To me, you have to be of moral sound character for me to buy your product. I said it. I'm not sorry. Fishing Kid, how you doing? You guys want to see problems with a fixed blade? Check out my video from Monday. I think I posted a short. That fixed blade went right through that deer. I had almost zero blood trail, and I put it right in the crease. There's not a more textbook spot for that deer to get shot. Justin, thanks for the sub, man. You guys are great. Now, traditionally, I've been trying to stick to a 2-hour live in the morning, 2-hour live in the evening. I think I'm going to try to stay with that, because I will have to go back out to the vehicle. I'll have to charge some batteries, do some administrative things. I honestly, I think I'm going to the wood fire kitchen today to get a pizza for lunch. And then we'll get back at it in the afternoon, right? But I think I'm going to check out a new spot today for an evening sit. Give this oak flat over here I've been hunting a little bit of a break. I'm going to try to go back into where I shot that big buck last year. Because I shot him on the 16th of September. Today's what? 18th. We could be in the wheelhouse for a big buck hunt tonight. I have one regret in life, man. I passed a really nice 110-inch 8-point with the recurve at 12 yards last year because I had him at 35 yards up the hill, hoping he would come down the same way. He didn't. I had to wait 5 more days to shoot him. Catch, eat, repeat. Good luck, man. I've always been keen to go live on the YouTube. Rules are a bit shite. You know, that's a crazy good question. YouTube has some community guidelines that are a little more relaxed than, say, TikTok. But what they say is that you can show graphic material like food preparation or meat preparation and things like that. You always see people filleting fish and cutting up eels, as long as it's educational and or if it's part of a traditional thing like hunting, because they mention hunting. It looks like you're okay. Again, I'm going to try to abide by all the community guidelines. Anything that I've posted, including the stuff on Monday, seemed to work fine. If you're interested in seeing that hunt, the video went live yesterday, and it's got a really awesome shot. It's got a lot of deer, tons of action. But yeah, if you're on, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We're gonna shoot deer live as much as possible all season long. It's kind of an experiment. We're gonna see how it goes. And I don't even care about that like button, man. There's 120 likes with 175 people on. I don't expect everybody to like it. But you don't have to hit that button. It's free though. It's free. Patch, I agree with you a lot there. wants to watch somebody, commit abusive acts towards anything, right? But it is hunting. It is where we get our food from, at its core. And I think in today's world, that's one of the problems. If you're not okay with seeing that, all you have to do is turn back time 100 years, and kids watch their parents butcher chickens and rabbits and deer and cows right in the backyard all the time. But today it's like, no, don't do that. Zang Zang, my favorite cat is I don't even know what breed of cat it is, but my son got a cat for his birthday about 7 years ago. His name's Hulk. He's the awesomest cat in the world. Batch, I'm gonna try, man. That's part of the reason why we're doing this. We're gonna try to build a community where people have a voice. Becky Miller, what is up? Hey, I hate to break it to you, but something you said yesterday on the live really sparked some thought on my hour and 40-minute drive home last night. And you kind of inspired me a little bit. And I'm thinking about doing maybe I'll do a weekly video where I talk about somebody from the lives that has inspired me. And if I have your permission, I'd love to post a little video about what my thoughts are. Awesome. I appreciate it. It's nothing real crazy, but it just kind of made me focus on my mindset a little bit. And I think as a bow hunter, it's really important to kind of get yourself in the mindset. And the brain is constantly telling you dumb shit. Like it says, don't get out of bed. You could lay here till you wake up at 9, drink some coffee. But then you really miss out on all the stuff. And that's kind of where my brain went. So I'm going to make a video, I'll post it. But I'm mentioning you. Catch, eat, repeat. This channel's going to say that it's been up since 2012 or 13, because that's when I created the account to join YouTube and do whatever. But I posted my first video to this account. Tomorrow will be 1 month ago. I spent 8 months with the previous YouTube channel getting to monetization. It was 8 months of hard, strenuous work. This channel will probably, based on the trajectory it's on, will probably reach full monetization before 1 October. That's 45 days. I think the quality of the content that you're bringing, the way you engage with the folks that subscribe, described to you early on has a huge impact in just how fast you can grow on a YouTube channel. Again, I didn't expect this. It's going so well I almost can't explain it. And to be able to sit here with 300-400 people on a live on a Thursday morning, it's pretty incredible. If you're on your own journey, I commend you for jumping on and trying to create that voice for yourself. It's an incredible honor to be able to do it. My only real regret is that the Pain Train Outdoors YouTube channel ended a lot sooner than what I'd liked it to. Yeah, for me to get to the base of the tree here at 5:20 this morning, I had to leave my house at 3:30. And I won't get back to the house until about 10 o'clock tonight. You can see how the thermal's kind of lifted now. Thermals are kind of lifting it up. But folks, we are a full hour past when I thought deer would come through here. And we've been putting a lot of pressure on this spot. Me being in here last night, me being in here on Monday probably didn't help. I know there's been a couple other guys hunting it. I think we're going to go back to the big buck spot for this evening. Yeah, Brandon, you're not wrong. These young fawns will be up on their feet at 11 o'clock, ready to eat, man. And Mama's gonna have to follow them around. Back Mountain, what's up? Wait, what did, Timber stuck in a hotel? Yeah, that's how I found that spot on, that I hunted Monday. I was walking out from here, 11:25. I had fawns feeding under the feed trees there. A VA black bear archery hunt. Bro, I'm down. Sign me up. That'll just give me an excuse to buy a VA license. My brother lives in Virginia, so I can stay at his place. And I think any time I've ever been in Virginia bow hunting, I've seen bear like literally every day. more states, more running around. All right, TJ. I'm probably jumping down out of the tree here soon. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eat a pizza for lunch. I swear. Timber, I'm in Maryland. Maryland. Todd, North Carolina is one of my favorite states, man. I love North Carolina. I love the Outer Banks. I love the fish down there. Alright, anyway, guys, as promised, we've reached a 2-hour mark. I'm going to shut this down so it doesn't take me an hour to charge all the stuff I need to charge for the evening hunt. If I run into another spot here on the way out, we'll turn it back on. But I'm going to be on here probably 5 p.m. tonight. We're going to set up on a big buck spot. It's exactly where I shot the 12-point last year. I'll be up on the ridge. I should have good cell phone service. And we'll see if we can't make something happen here this evening. Again, I appreciate everybody's support. You guys are more than awesome. We're building a community here that, my opinion, is top-notch. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later this evening. Oh, I just had a giant acorn smash my cannon. Bye, guys. We'll see you in a little while.